Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you all here to New Bedford High School. We're here in the Family Engagement Center. I'm here with the members of the Board of Directors for the New Bedford High School Young Alumni Association. We're also joined by a few members of the New Bedford High School National Honor Society. My name is Justin Braga. I am a proud graduate of the New Bedford High School class of 2012. I recently graduated from Brown University, and I'll be attending Georgetown University Law Center this coming year as a first-year student. We're here today. It's a very exciting day for our organization and caps off a very exciting week for New Bedford High School. I'd like to start off by congratulating the graduates of the class of 2016 on their excellent work over the years here at New Bedford High School and for their accomplishment of attaining their high school diploma. Also this week, New Bedford High School received another accolade, receiving accreditation for 3 academies from the National Academy Foundation. That's an outstanding accomplishment for the high school and just more evidence that New Bedford High School is moving in the right direction under the leadership of Mrs. Coelho and Superintendent Durkin. We're here today, I guess, to cap off what has already been an outstanding week for the high school with something perhaps not as big as those accomplishments, but something certainly important to our organization and something that we think is going to help students at New Bedford High School who are applying to college. We're here today to release our 6-page Applying to College Tips and Tricks College Application Guide, which we have been putting together over the past several months under the leadership of one of our members, Nicholas Lawrence, who in a moment is going to be coming to the podium to introduce the guide to everyone. I just wanted to say a few words on behalf of the organization and basically I think the importance of this guide for those watching here and for those watching at home in the community. Putting this guide together was a lot of hard work, and I want to commend Nick and the alumni of our organization for really coming together and being dedicated to the cause of helping New Bedford High School students succeed. I think this guide is unique in that it's been put together by students who recently went through the college application process. There are already a lot of outstanding resources here at New Bedford High School, right here in this engagement center, and also from guidance counselors and other sources in the community for students applying to college. But we thought that we had something unique to offer by putting this guide together, a guide that was put together by former New Bedford High School students for current New Bedford High School students, because we want New Bedford High School students to have the same, if not greater, opportunities than what we had when we walked the halls of New Bedford High School years ago. So this guide covers a variety of important topics pertaining to the college application process, ranging from the application essay to financial aid. You name it, it's covered. I would say I think the benefit of this guide is that it is both concise and comprehensive. It's easy for really anyone to understand. And I would like to make a note that next week we will be releasing versions in Portuguese and Spanish so that all members of our community are able to read this guide in the language that is most comfortable to them. And I would encourage anyone in the community who would like to have the guide published in another language to please reach out to us and email us at nbhsyoungalumni@gmail.com. I'll be reiterating that email address at some point again in the presentation. Our guide will be made available to the community on the New Bedford Public Schools website, which is newbedfordschools.org. In the next week, we'll also be posting it on our website, which is nbhsyoungalumni.com. And copies will be made available to students here at New Bedford High School and also at the Paul Rodricks Administration Building in downtown New Bedford. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over the microphone to the individual who spearheaded this project, Nick Lawrence. Nick graduated from New Bedford High School in 2012. He just graduated from Boston College, earning his Bachelor of Arts, and he'll be entering a master's degree program at New York University this fall. Again, Nick, I want to congratulate you on all your hard work and the alumni that you worked with to put this together, and I want to thank you for taking the time and for your dedication to the students of this high school. So without further ado, Nick, all yours.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. So as Justin said, I recently graduated from New Bedford High. Well, not super recently, but relatively recently graduated from New Bedford High School and recently graduated from Boston College. And over the past year, I was entering the graduate school application process, and I found myself a little bit overwhelmed with just the breadth of resources and also just the complexity of the process. And I was reflecting back on my college application process and realized that I wished when I was in New Bedford High School and when I was a student here that I had had a collection of resources that was targeted specifically to students from New Bedford. So as part of my work with this organization, we thought that it would be a great idea and that it presented a wonderful opportunity for us to collect these resources and present them to the students. One thing that I'm really proud about this is that we are all students from New Bedford. We understand some of the unique challenges that are faced by students in this community, and we were able to really target it and selectively include information that might not be highlighted so explicitly in other college application guide materials. So it really is a tips and tricks guide. We tried to make it as informal and easily understandable as possible. So some of the sections that we have included are the application essay. And in that, we really just want to highlight that it's your opportunity to introduce yourselves to any admissions board. A lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that they don't have a story that's interesting enough to tell, and we really want to dispel that. Everybody has a story, and everybody can present themselves in a positive and engaging light. We also have tips for asking teachers and professors and coaches and anyone that you may have worked with for recommendation letters. We realize that that can be a very intimidating conversation to have with somebody, so we really wanted to kind of just give an inside scoop on how to ask those types of questions and how to make sure that the people who are going to write you letters write you and portray you in the best possible light. We really focused on this, on how to finance an education. We realized that that is a particular concern to many students from New Bedford, myself included. The sticker price of college is astronomical and it's overwhelming, and we really like to focus and make it known that very few students end up paying the sticker price that is advertised on a college's website. And there are wonderful and tons of resources here in New Bedford for New Bedford students that will help make college more accessible. We also cover college entrance examinations. There are a ton of them. They're complicated. From the time that we took them to now, they've changed 3 or 4 different times, so this is the most up-to-date information. But on a yearly basis, we will be updating that portion specifically. But we go through the topics that are covered as well as the scoring systems, what they mean, and how to kind of prepare for them, and how to decide which test to take. Then we also go into the different types of application models. Some schools have early decision, some schools have regular decision, and some schools have early action. And a lot of the terminology around that can get particularly confusing. And as some of those are binding contracts with a university or college, we really wanted to go through and delineate which plan is right for you. And then we have a suggested timeline that starts as early as the sophomore year of high school and goes all the way up until your graduation day at New Bedford High School. And while that is a suggested timeline and it is drawn out, we want to reiterate that it's never too late to start, and that if you're a rising senior and you realize that you haven't done some of the preparation that we suggest is taken a little bit earlier, that's absolutely okay, and that there's still a way to catch up and get yourself into the school that you want to go to. When we make this available online, we will have hyperlinks to all of the resources that we have referenced, so it really is a dynamic document that will be a collection of resources and will be able to point you in the right direction as well as summarize and engage you. And then we will also, as Justin said, have it available in Portuguese and Spanish and potentially other languages as well. So that way it really is something that is accessible to this community and to these students who we were and are trying to currently engage. So thank you.
So Nick did a really great job of summarizing the pamphlet, and Justin had just asked Raekwon and I to speak because we're some of the youngest members on the Young Alumni Executive Board, and so we just went through this mind-boggling process and all of the confusion and stress. And so I just wanted to highlight the section that Nick had talked a little bit about, which focuses on finances. Financing your education can be very scary. There are tons of different forms. I remember filling out the CSS profile and the FAFSA with my parents. And so one of the things that he had mentioned is the importance of looking at the net price. So the sticker price that you see for a college, such as the one I go to, Williams College, can be as high as $65,000 a year, which is something I know my family couldn't pay for. And so looking at, they often have an online net price calculator, and you can plug in a few different figures that relate to your family's income and figure out what a realistic price would be and what schools you should be looking at as options. And another thing to think about are the local scholarships that are given. So there are national scholarships and online scholarships, but one of the easiest way to get money for college is to look at the local scholarships that are given. And we give you a list on the Community Foundation of Southeastern Massachusetts website, which has tons of scholarships that are specifically targeted towards New Bedford High School and local area students. And then just thinking about looking at the terms of your financial aid. So even once you get into college, it's important to look at the GPA that you need to maintain and things like that so that you can have that scholarship for all 4 years and not be left out hanging after your first year of college. And then I'll let Raekwon talk a little bit about the essay, which is another really crucial part of the application process.
Thank you, Emma. Like introduced, my name is Raekwon Grace. I graduated from Bedford High School just a year ago, one of the younger members of the Alumni Association. And Emma was right, along with Justin and Nick, that one of the most important parts of the college application process is the essay. And one of the reasons I feel it's so difficult is because while it's an essay, high school students I know are just overwhelmed in this period. They have sports, they have clubs, they have homework, they have family obligations. Tying that all in with what seems to be a leviathan of an essay just seems overwhelming, and one might wonder how to tackle it. Nick outlined actually here in a very eloquent way, very impressive, very comprehensive for students of all ages, to go through steps to start the essay, starting it early, making sure that that the key to it really is that everyone has a story to tell. Most people think that they need some sort of pivotal, life-changing experience, and it really doesn't have to be that. It can be something that just shaped who you are today, what made you the unique individual that you are, because that's what colleges want to see. They want to see the unique individual that you are presenting and offering yourself to colleges. So that's a very helpful tip, and starting it early, it can be done in a much easier way, and I think the guide outlines that. One of the other important aspects of applying for college is the variety of different tests you need to take. Those also seem like such a long, overwhelming list of things to take. You have SATs, you have ACTs, you have subject tests, and you might wonder, which ones do I need to take, how many do I need to take? And this outlines very cleanly exactly which ones you need to go through. If you look through the resources here, it specifies that which college you go to has different exams you need to go through. Some of them will be content with SATs, some will be content with ACTs, some might require the subject tests. And the key to this, which we want to emphasize, is keeping something of a timeline. Starting as early as sophomore year, granted, like said earlier, it's never too late to start, can help make this mind-boggling process seem a lot more manageable and realistic and very humanly possible. With that, I'd like to bring it back to Justin Braga to conclude the presentation.
Nick, Emma, Raekwon, thank you so much for your presentation today. I think all of the topics that we just covered here today are very important, and Nick did a quick run through of our guide, but I encourage everyone again to read it either online or in paper copy. As I said earlier, we're going to have paper copies made available here to students at New Bedford High School. We'll also have them available at the Paul Rodericks Administration Building downtown. And just again, we'll have them available online at newbedfordschools.org, which is the school department's website. Within the next week, we'll also have it available on our website, which is NBHSYoungAlumni.org. And if anyone has any questions or would like to receive a copy personally, please feel free to email us at nbhsyoungalumni@gmail.com. In conclusion here, I just want to say a few final words just about the guide. I think, again, all the topics we heard covered today are very important. I would encourage students to use our guide, but also to seek out resources here at New Bedford High School. Raekwon brought up the college essay. With us today, actually, we have my former English teacher, Mrs. Paula Brown, who can tell you all about the times when I was writing my college essay, and we locked horns for about a month over my essay and making sure it was in good shape to send off, and it paid off. We have outstanding teachers here at New Bedford High School, outstanding resources in the community who want to help the students. We are one such resource. The purpose of this guide is to augment the already existing resources in the community, and we feel again that we offer a unique resource because we are alumni who recently went through the college application process. And I would just like to say, on behalf of the Young Alumni Association, we are always willing and happy to help current New Bedford High School students who have any questions. And so again, please feel free to email us. This guide also, I would like to open this up to the community to say that, if there's any topic that you feel would be helpful that we cover, we do plan on amending this guide in years to come. This is not something that's set in stone. The college application process is always changing. We stayed away from talking about specific financial numbers and dates in this guide because those dates and numbers are constantly changing. Our goal here really was to provide an extra resource and give New Bedford students a leg up. In other wealthy communities, a lot of students sometimes will have their parents will be able to hire outside resources or bring in additional resources for their students. And we understand, coming from New Bedford, that many New Bedford families, and I would even say most New Bedford families, don't have the money to do that. We understand that having a New Bedford experience, coming from a working class background, coming from a working class community, that's just not the case here. And so we really care about New Bedford High School a lot. That's why we're back here, and we want to offer that resource and supplement that resource so that our kids have every opportunity to succeed as well. So at this time, I'd like to thank the media outlets who came to cover this, New Bedford Guide, as well as New Bedford Cable Access. I'd like to offer a special thanks to Dr. Durkin and her administration, John Carvalho from the school department who helped us out extensively with putting this on today. I'd like to thank Mrs. Coelho and the entire New Bedford High School administration and staff, not only for helping make this possible today, but I would say on behalf of all the New Bedford High School alumni, a big thank you to all the teachers, staff, and community members who helped us to get to where we are today and help us succeed. And we hope to do that for another generation of Whalers. So thank you again for coming out, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you.